So when I was in the gym, I had another idea, and you're going to love this one. You're going to love this one. You're going to think lots of things about it. But you see, that's the nature of what I do here on the Awakened Brave channel, on the Closer to God channel. I attempt to get you to engage yourself with your own thoughts. For those of you that have any, I know there's a lot of you that don't have any. You don't have internal monologues. Wow, that's shocking. That has probably been the greatest shocking revelation that I've ever learned in my whole 14 years of spiritual awakening. That many people do not have their thoughts officially. This is official, people. Of course, I've known this, speculated it for a long time. It's always been a self-evident truth. You just know when people don't have their own thoughts, right? But to have it confirmed by science these days, then wow, that's quite a revelation. And you know, science, I'm not per se speaking about somebody who has a PhD and who has funding from the government and has written a paper on it. We can all do science ourselves. Science is experimentation, and we gather what we find, and we draw a consensus. And so lots of people are doing that these days, and they are being shocked themselves. But there's a video. I'll post this video in the description below. It's a 15-minute video. It's American, and it's some guy out in the streets interviewing people and asking them very basic questions. And it's so shocking that you would think that it's a spoof. But there's been so many of these variety of videos around that there is at least a large element of truth. You know, one of the things that, you know, sort of like cries some sort of deception for me is that many people don't seem to be able to tell the time. And I'm like, well, what planet have you been living on if you can't tell the time? So you make your own opinions about that, but it's a good video, so it's in the description below. So what I'm speaking about now, the idea that I just had, but to tell you about this idea, first and foremost I must give you a preamble. I must give you the background. So in recent times I spoke about the Jewish Passover. But for those of you that have minds like goldfish, then I will run it by you again. Jewish Passover is a celebration that the Jews, Orthodox Jews, hold every year. And it's in honour of a biblical story when a God, apparently, with the help of Moses, brought the Israelites out of the wicked land of Kemet, that's to say Egypt. And so whilst they were in the midst of that, some stage, I don't remember exactly the details, but what Jehovah made known to all of the Israelites was that he's going to send a plague over the whole land and kill everybody's firstborn child. All of those who do not have the sacrificial blood of the male lamb in its prime. So this thing about God, he loves the prime, he loves the young, he loves the tender, he loves their succulent blood. Wow, if you can't see evil in all of this stuff, you never will, people. And so God decided through his love for all his people, all of his children, by the way, he created everybody, equally, apparently, and he loves all of his children. But he decided, because some of those children were a bit obstinate, and they weren't bowing down and grovelling and eating the dirt and crying out, Lord, 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 save me, 53 million times a day. So he decided that he's going to kill the firstborn to really teach him a lesson. You talk about hitting someone below the belt. How else would you affect somebody so tragically that to take away their firstborn? Well, that's the benevolence of God, and he works in mysterious ways, working all his love over the land. Yeah, so this is called the Passover, and God said that those who have the sacrificial blood on the door of those houses, then the evil angels, which are bringing about this plague, will pass over their houses, and they won't be affected. And then for 1 week after the Passover, they should eat leavened bread for some stupid fucking bullshit, non-rational reason. But they gotta eat, it's just stupid shit, just stupid ritual shit that, just to get people following. And probably so they don't forget, because they've all got minds like goldfish, so they don't forget the Passover for at least 7 days. So anyway, apparently this is what the Wicked One did. And the Wicked One is called Yahweh, by the way, not Satan. Satan never did anything like that. In actual fact, Satan's never done anything like that. No, only the Wicked One, Yahweh, is responsible for things like this, and a whole myriad of them in the Old Testament. And so, the Jews celebrate with glee the slaughtering of the Egyptian firstborn. So, the Arab firstborn, the Gentile firstborn. And so, as I've said, is it any wonder that the Arabs absolutely hate the Jews with a vengeance? And so the Arabs have their God, which is Allah, and they absolutely hate the Jews' God, which is Yahweh. And so there's been this feud ever since. And it seems to me that both of their gods are very evil, and the one that's supposed to be evil is just sitting in the background going, what the fuck's going on here? These guys are more evil than me. I'm supposed to be the evil one, and they are stealing my thunder. Yahweh and Allah, they're stealing my thunder. Talk about a paradox, people. So the Jews every year, with a large element of glee, they will celebrate the murder of these Arabs, and I'm pretty sure that the Arabs in turn will be cursing and casting spells on the Jews on that very same day. So I thought to myself, well, I'm going to be facetious here, and if it's good enough for Yahweh, any Christians who are listening, and I know there's still a remnant of you, although I've slain most of you, I've beheaded most of you, I've run you through with my sword, but some of you are still very persistent and you're still here. And so see what you think of this one then. So anyway, that's the whole Passover thing. So what I thought I'd do, well, if it's good enough for Yahweh, then it must be good enough for me at a much lesser level. So what I thought I would do, I thought, well, the Awakened Brave is going to do a similar sort of thing. The Awakened Brave is going to wave his hand over the whole of the globe, and there is going to be a mini curse, and this mini curse is going to not entail the death of your firstborn, by the way. No, it's going to entail that a little Awakened Brave Gremlin, which will come into your house if you do not have a copy of the Closer to God manual. If you do not have the Closer to God manual to protect you in your house, then these gremlins are going to enter, they're going to reside, and they're going to cause a little bit of chaos. Now, this chaos can work in many, many ways. It can be an incessant itch. It can be you may spill red wine on your white carpet. right? You may spill your McDonald's orange on the upholstery of your car. You may leave something on the stove which will burn and stink out the house and cause the fire alarms to go off. You may do a whole bunch of things. You may run the bath and then leave it to run over. You will drop a glass or a plate or a pot of food, anything like that. Nothing too tragic, nothing too evil. Nothing too evil. But little Awakened Brave Gremlins will enter into all of those houses who do not have the protection of the Closer to God manual under their roofs. Now, I'm not sure, people, and I know there's 18 of you who have purchased a Kindle, but I'm not sure whether the Kindle version is going to have the power to prevent the Awakened Brave Gremlin from entering your home and causing chaos. I'm quite sure that a hard copy would, but if there is a lot of evil under your roof, in your house, in your heart, then you might need to purchase 2 copies. And you'll place 1 copy at the front door and 1 copy at the back door. And that way you will be doubly protected. You've got both portals covered then, yeah? Right? And so that's how it's going to go. So I'm going to do that now. And I'm just going to close my eyes and go into a meditation. And I'm going to picture the Awakened Brave army, legion of gremlins, of pesky gremlins, a legion of pesky gremlins. They're flying all around the world, every single facet of the world now. They're flying all over like atoms, or like let us say like electrons around the nucleus of an atom. That they're going so fast it's just like a cloud. If you can picture that, there's a cloud of Awakened Brave gremlin energy, and now they're all of a sudden they're diving down, hovering over every household, and they'll hover over every household for the next 7 days. 7 being a very important biblical number, by the way. They'll hover over, keeping the vigil over your homes for the next 7 days, and then they will strike upon those homes that don't have the protection. What do you think about that? Anything else genius? Come on, people. Look at this stuff. Isn't it brilliant? You see, in my videos, you always get lots of this sort of stuff where I will pick at a certain considered truism, and then I will reinvent something around it, or I'll incorporate it into one of my discourses, or to accentuate or to give rise to a higher understanding of what I'm trying to convey. And so I think that's a very beautiful thing. And you see, what I always do in my videos, I make it very difficult for people to have a problem, because if all of those people that have an allegiance with Yahweh, well, they wouldn't be considering that Yahweh did anything evil. They're in complete denial of that, and then they'll go, oh well, I mean, it's just metaphor. Yeah, they pick and choose with the metaphors, but then with Jesus walking on the water, raising himself from the dead, and being God, and raising the dead in general, that's not metaphor. No, they're all miracles, and they really happened. Yeah, the hypocrisy is sickening to the stomach, absolutely sickening. And so, if I could, maybe I could wave another hand over the world and make all these people go insane. Oh, they're already insane. Okay, do something nice. Oh, I'll do something nice, right? I'll make all these people wake up. What about that? So all these Christians, flocking to churches and clutching their prayer beads and their crucifixes and the Bible and all that, they'll just wake the fuck up and they'll go, what the fuck have I been doing all these years? And then they'll see the bullshit and the heinous evil in the Bible for what it is. Should I do that? Okay, then I'll do it. Okay, it's done. Let me know how it goes. This will take full effect in 7 days also. So 7 days from now is going to be a very important day, so do pay attention, people, and do remember that if you are going to be protected, if your household is going to be protected, then you will need to have the Closest to God manual to defend against the Awakened Brave Gremlins. Yes. And so I thought I would lay that one on you. Quite pleased about that, actually. Let's see what some of you have to say about this. Because look, this is how it works. We plant seeds, and superstition is a part of human psyche. And some people may proclaim that they are not superstitious, but given the right circumstances, they most certainly will discover that they are superstitious, because superstition is a facet of human consciousness. And so all we need to do is to plant seeds and say something for it then to be pondered upon and given energy, and then it will make manifest. And so for those of you that don't have the protection already, then even if you think that I'm speaking like a silly Billy, the next time you spill a coffee on your computer, or a glass of wine on the carpet, or you drop your orange juice in your lap in the car, well, you better start thinking about the Awakened Brave Gremlins, because they're going to be there, and those are going to be responsible for that. And so if you don't want that to happen again, if it keeps happening, you're going to have to go, fucking hell, Pet, can you order that fucking book? Oh, can you order that Closest to God Bible, that most precious of scriptures that's ever been written on the world? Get 2 copies. We need one at the front door and the back door, because I don't know how much evil I've got, to be fair, but it seems quite a lot, because a lot of gremlins around me. Yes, people, you're starting to understand it now. So when these things continue to happen to you, every single time you'll be thinking of the Awakened Brave. You'll be thinking, damn, the curse of the Awakened Brave Gremlins is upon me. Order them books. In actual fact, order 10. Get one on the windowsill of every window, because you never know when these gremlins are going to be entering. They may not come through the door, people. They may come down the chimney, just like Santa did. Yes. So my advice to you is to get well protected. Okay, otherwise chaos will be upon you, and it will never go away until you get the resolve. It's going to be like Drop Dead Fred. For any of you that have seen the movie Drop Dead Fred with Rick Mail, what a wonderful, incredible movie. It's about a woman who, she had mental issues as a child, because, the doctor said she had mental issues, you see, but this is the thing. The child had a healthy imagination, and the imagination was that she invented a invisible friend, and this invisible friend came out of the Jack-in-the-Box. And so when this Drop Dead Fred character came out of the Jack-in-the-Box, whenever the girl opened it to play with Drop Dead Fred, then she and he would get up to mischief. And so the mother recognised that every time you're playing with that Jack-in-the-Box, shit goes down. And so the mother take this Jack-in-the-Box up and put it in the attic. And then Drop Dead Fred went away. But years later, when the little girl was an adult, she found the Jack-in-the-Box in the attic and she opened it, and lo and behold, out popped Drop Dead Fred, causing chaos again. So people, you got to be careful of this stuff. It's there, and it's in the psyche of all human beings. Are you protected? I'd get protected if I was you.